Welcome to the Tupton Tap.
Hello!
With Ollie Burt and Charlie Yep.
How are we doing? Alright?
There'll be blood, sweat and tears and plenty of beers.
Lovely
So come along and have a chat. It's the Tupton Tap.
It's the Tupton Tap, isn't
Hello and welcome to our Pubcast. Pubcast?
Podcast.
I may have got it right this time.
Got it right
guys.
that time.
I cannot believe, I can't even start to tell you how long that has taken us to get.
So I can't wait.
I can't even say the
outtakes.
name. I can't even say the name of our own podcast.
So I don't know how we're going to get through this.
Anyway, I'm Charlie. I'm announcing this show. We've got Ollie with us.
Hello.
We've got Jack as well.
Hello.
We're all basically just friends who, in this kind of time of lockdown, we want to have a bit of a chat and talk all things drink related, pub related, all that kind of jazz. And
Just
you might want to
general
listen.
rubbish. Yeah, and that kind of leads into what we all do, how we know each other. So we're all mates through the pub, so through the Tupton Tap. Charlie now runs it. Jack still works there, and I left about 2 months ago. But we all
Good riddance.
I know.
Good riddance.
Yeah,
Well-
bad boss. That was the reason.
That was it.
No comment. Yeah, so we've all worked there for about 3 years. We started off. Well, Bert started off as a glass collector like me, and Charlie started off as a barman, and now he runs
Look
the
where-
place.
And then
now
Ollie's
he's
been-
in charge of the gaff.
And Ollie's been fired.
And now he got fired about 2 months ago now. But,
Jack's been demoted to pot washer.
yeah.
I'm well on the way to getting fired.
That's what we all aspire to, innit?
Oh,
So what do we all do then? So let's just quickly go over what our professions are. Obviously, you know bits about what we do, but Charlie, you start.
So first off, I'm a manager of a pub, and then I'm a full-time drinker as well. Come hand in hand. No, I'm only kidding. No, so yeah, I run a pub, and I used to be a musician as well, so I kind of still do a bit of that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I run a pub and I try and play music. What do you do, Ollie? What's your thing?
So I used to work at the Tupton Tap. Now I work for an events company, so we mainly do marketing side of events, like for festivals, like sort of stuff. That's all I really do. I'm big into my music, big into professional audio and lights and equipment. So that's really what I do. I'm not that interesting of a guy. But
That was riveting, that was.
that
Bert,
was
what do you do?
absolutely amazing. I'm a student. I'm studying physics at Chef Hallam.
now that's
And,
interesting.
That is
A bloody,
because
a
that's
bloody
also really
student.
good. And then obviously,
Bloody students, eh?
I play rugby's my big hobby. You know, big rugby fan.
When you're not getting knocked out.
Yeah, when I'm actually fit and not dead. You know, and obviously rugby and drinking come hand in hand. So I do a bit of bar work as well.
Yeah, he's got tons of knowledge.
Tons.
I can't explain the amount of times we've stayed up till 4 a.m. talking about physics.
Talk about
and I
rubbish
don't-
and getting absolutely
Don't,
hammered.
because then
Oh,
we walk
I used
home
to
not
drink
being able
that
to walk.
drinking that old rubbish green absinthe.
Oh no,
Oh
that's
God, I've had some
that's
nights.
our credibility is dropping the more we talk about green absinthe.
It wasn't,
Ollie-
it wasn't nice.
Ollie would sit there basically falling asleep, and I'd be trying to keep up with Jack on his whole physics.
What
debate.
night was it
That
that
great.
we played? What night was it? I think they all sort of merge into one, don't they? For me,
Yeah.
I don't know about you. But
You make us sound like raging
Give-
alcoholics.
no,
Yeah,
no,
we
because
played that
it's
trivia game
over
on
a
the
stretch of
PS2.
3 years, so it's not that
Okay,
bad.
yeah. And we met up once a year.
Mate, we meet once a year outside of work.
Yeah.
I can
That's-
just remember that was the
I-
best night when I drank that full 2-litre bottle of Old Rosy.
Mate, you didn't get halfway down it.
That's a good challenge, that is. We shouldn't really be endorsing that challenge on here.
Yeah.
However, it's weird though, the pub trade is, because they kind of think the social aspect of it is so much different. I think, like at an office job, you wouldn't get all the co-workers meeting at someone's house and trying to drink 5 litres of Old Rosy and then going to work the next day. It just doesn't happen. I feel like the pub trade, you're a lot more relaxed.
The next
you go
day,
through a lot.
The next day, I had to open up.
Oh God.
That was
And
horrendous.
yeah.
'cause I
and
was
would you call it opening up, Ollie?
Well, I had to crawl open and unlock some doors and then sit down the bar all day hanging.
So bear in mind, I wasn't running the place. At
Oh,
this
yeah,
time,
you
so I
weren't,
was,
yeah.
Yeah, no,
I was
no,
not the
rest-
you don't want to
I
incriminate
was-
Charles.
I was not responsible at this point.
Well, that would have been fine over
But yeah, I just think it's so odd. It's like an office job, or you
The-
never dream of getting absolutely, I don't know.
The thing
unless
is,
it's work
though,
office
for
party.
work.
The thing is, though, we always, ever since we started, we've all been mates, haven't we? Like, not before me and Bert have been mates since school, but
Yeah,
obviously
we went to
I didn't
school
know you,
together,
Charlie.
didn't we? So
So I
Yeah,
think
well, we did go to the same school. Just
Yeah,
Didn't know each
I
other,
don't remember talking to you. I remember you being
You're
like the
20,
lanky
are you
guy.
21, Charlie?
22.
I'm 22 now. Can we not rub it
22.
in? I'm
So-
feeling old.
20, and then me and Ollie are 19, so it's a
I'm-
bit.
20 this
you-
year, though.
So we
There's
went
an age
yeah,
gap. You're babbies.
we're the babbies in the group.
But,
Yeah.
See, we've always
So-
got on together well in the pub, haven't we? So I think that's
So-
why we made it. So,
That's why it's a bit different from any other job.
any other pub
But-
job.
I think if anyone who didn't hear, so we all work at, well, we did, and we do still work at the Tupton Tap, which is a lovely little pub in Tupton.
That's
Lovely
what
little
we
great.
never calling by.
Oh, it's just
Go on
some
with the
real ale, craft beer, lager, spirits, gin, the whole shebang.
And us messing about behind the bar.
Yeah, Bert does some card tricks. I talk a load of rubbish.
Pudding
Some
magician.
of it.
Part-time musician? Magician, not musician.
Magician.
We've got a musician and a magician, and then
And
whatever
me.
Ollie is.
Yeah, I don't know why I am.
I couldn't think of another rhyme for all
Tech-
that.
yeah.
I come.
That could be the
Tech man.
tagline, though. The tagline can be musician,
Magician.
musician, and the other guy,
And Ollie.
and Ollie. that rhymes perfectly.
But yeah,
Perfect.
I'm just
Um,
glad we're finally doing this because we've got so many good stories that we need to tell. The world needs to
Yeah.
know.
There's
We've
some
been
great
through
ones.
a lot at this pub.
Yeah, and I think personally as well, we've just got some stupid stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like we've all heard them a million times, so I'm gonna be falling asleep while we're telling them.
I think it'd be funny to read it a little bit.
You got to, haven't you? You got to pull up. What's it when you can't remember the phrase when you're pulling it up somewhere? I don't know. God knows. But
we've got to share this
Anyway.
knowledge of this fountain of knowledge we've got.
that's it. That's
I
what
won't,
was
I
looking
won't
for.
call it knowledge. I'll call it experience.
Yeah. So main reason why we're doing this is because we've gone on lockdown, but we've always said we're going to do it.
So if
Never
no
have
one
time.
knows, we're in a lockdown, in the UK.
Just
Wait
in
a minute,
case you hadn't seen.
No one's heard, yeah.
And that moves on to the news segment. Did
Did
everyone know we're in a lockdown? No. Anyway, so we kind of came perfect timed, didn't it? We wanted to do it anyway, and
Yeah,
we
so
thought
we're
we've got
talking
nothing
about
to
doing it
do.
anyway, weren't we? I remember sitting in the pub with you two talking about it, saying, we should do one, we should do one, we should do one. So I think it's given us the spare time. I say spare
Yeah.
time because
And the motivation.
but the idea is once we get out of lockdown, we're going to meet up and we're going to film it together, and
Yeah.
it can be a bit more because it's hard to kind of get some kind of like what's it called?
system going.
Yeah, and it's hard to kind of. I find it hard talking to people over Skype and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot
It's
more
so
natural once it's like if we're sat in the pub talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
this is what we
So-
want this to feel like. This wants to feel like one of them drunken chats you have with your mates. in the
Yeah.
pub.
Despite the fact we were painfully sober right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've had a quick kind of
Shock.
Goose IPA by Goose Island just to get the juices
So-
flowing. Very
So
nice.
anyone doesn't know, Jack's a rugby lad, and is also full-time pisshead.
Yeah.
Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That
If
sounds right.
if I'm not drunk and you bump into me, you're doing well.
or Jack's doing well.
Oh, I'm doing
No,
well. One or
yeah.
the other. I'm either on the wagon or bored.
Yeah. or if you catch him without any cards in his hand,
Yeah.
you're very
I
you're
haven't
very
actually got
lucky.
any
If you ever-
hand.
yeah,
I've
if
got
you ever
I've
meet
got my
him-
trusty Rubik's cube with me.
If you ever meet him and he hasn't got any cards with him, you know there's something wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You need to ask if he's okay.
Yeah.
Get him home.
Alright.
Wrap him up in a warm blanket.
Give him a pack of cards. There we are,
I
pal.
might be in shock.
Right. So actually, we've been talking about beer, so we may as well move on to our first segment of the show, which, as you might have guessed, is about beer.
Oh yes.
It kind of makes sense, seeing as we're a pub, that we have a beer segment where, at the moment, because we're on lockdown, we're trying to look for beers that you can get in your local supermarket. I think I struggle with. I like nice beer, and I always find it's better when it's from a pub.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So I think it's a fun experiment to see what we can find at a supermarket that's worth a punt. And Jack, you are the first on the agenda for. You bought the beer this time. He's
I
dropped
did.
it outside our doors. We've got
As
social
sanitized.
All
distancing.
social
all-time
distancing
high.
was
At play.
applied.
Yes,
Of
it was
course.
great. Sanitized the whole can.
Yeah.
I boiled the can as well. So go on, Bert. Can you give us a bit of a lowdown on what beer we've got this week?
I can. So this is called Pinata, and it's by the North Brewing Company. I picked it. I've got to be honest. I went into Tesco. I was doing the essential shop. I thought I'll get some beer for the podcast. I was looking around, and then it cut. We said we were going to try some weird beers and do something a bit different. So I found. I looked. I saw the can. I thought the can looked a bit groovy, so I picked it up.
Was he a glow around it? Was he?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Glow?
The green and the yellow. It just stood out to me. And it's a mango and guava pale ale at 4.5%.
I say it's
So-
not. It's not
Yeah.
striking me as. I don't know.
We should point out Ollie is not a massive beer advocate. Like me
I
and
don't-
Charlie are big beer drinkers.
I don't really like real ale of any sort.
So Ollie,
this would be
one
fun.
of the
Ollie, I wouldn't-
What's the word?
I wouldn't really class this as a real ale.
Is it
I'd
not?
say this is a
It's
craft
called
beer.
craft.
Oh,
Yeah,
I haven't read it.
But yeah, Ollie, one of the senior barmen at the Tupton Tap, which is a big real ale pub, doesn't like real ale. So
Or craft beer.
Or
We do have
craft.
a very good craft beer.
I don't
range here,
mind a
Jack.
bit
I
of
should
craft
point
beer.
out as well, this is a vegan beer, hence why it's cloudy.
I think I get a lot of hate. Well, hear a lot of hate about vegan beer, and to me, it's more just.
Oh,
I think it's great to open that door to everyone. If someone's got a life choice where they don't want to have dairy or meat or
I'll
eggs
tell
or
you,
whatever,
the funniest thing I've ever seen is that when I say to someone, "Oh, this is a vegan beer," is they go, "Oh, it's a vegan. I don't want to drink it." It's like there's nothing wrong with
The
drinking a
thing
vegan
is,
beer if you're not
what's
vegan.
really annoying about it is the fact vegan beer doesn't actually taste any different. It's just that it's not fine, so it doesn't clear. Like the
Well-
actual beer itself, the taste isn't affected at all. This is what frustrates me about it.
technically, you could say without the findings that there could be a taste difference.
Yeah, but
I think there probably
but
is, but I don't think it's-
I've tried vegan versions of the same beer, and there's no difference. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
get what you mean.
What
I
was
get
the
what you mean.
one? What was the one we had? Like we were trying to make it. We were trying to get it to settle for absolutely Asian. Like it's not settling.
And
We
then we
realised-
turned out
Oh,
they were
yeah.
They
vegan.
told
Oh,
us
right.
that they only just made it vegan. What was it?
That was the early days before
Deception.
I'd
Was it
taken over.
Yeah.
That's when vegan beer was first starting to become quite big. I found.
Yeah.
They
My-
never used to be vegan, but they switched over to being vegan and didn't tell us.
Can I just say, this smells quite nice. It smells very fruity.
I know which brewery
Very
it was.
mango.
It was Shiny Brewery.
Yes.
So-
yeah. It
And
was
I think
alright.
their full range now is vegan, and they've got a lot of gluten free now, which is great. I think gluten free beer is so hard to come by,
Yeah.
especially in like casks and stuff. So it's great because I love to have a bar that's open to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, I think the best story I've got about vegan beer is I think once I gave a taste to someone. Oh, you want to try this beer? And, yeah, no, they tasted. Oh, that's real nice. That's nice. I went, oh, that's vegan by the way. And then, oh no, I'm not. having
Yeah.
that.
Literally, I've had the exact
I'm
same
there.
experience.
Yeah.
100%.
And they're going like, what was the thought process? How?
Yeah. I think
don't
it's,
get it.
I think it's just because they don't want to be tarnished with that name of.
It's like the vegan
Vegan.
sausage rolls,
Like,
isn't it?
there's
Have you
nothing wrong
ever
with it.
actually tried the vegan sausage
That's
rolls?
pretty decent,
Don't-
I think.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
start this debate, Jack.
I don't think they taste like sausage rolls, but they do
No.
taste nice.
I agree.
That's the thing.
Completely.
You're like, oh, they're not sausage rolls. That doesn't mean you can't eat them.
I think Jack's very passionate about this subject.
I'm just
Are you
like
vegan?
These are
sausage
not
rolls.
sausage rolls.
I just like sausage rolls.
yeah.
But anyway, back to
For
the
anyone
beer.
Yeah.
We're
not
reviewing
seen
sausage
yet,
rolls.
it's like a milkshake.
It is a
like
very.
a
It
milkshake
smells
IPA.
very fruity. You
It
can definitely
smells
smell
like
the
like the
guava.
smell. I'm getting a hint of orange and passion fruit J2O.
Yeah, that's not right. You know what? You're not far off.
I
there.
feel like you have a hint of that.
We're in for a
It's
swig.
got oats in it apparently. As
Oh,
well.
wait, I'm going to drink. Hold on. I'm going to drink. But, Charles.
It does
I-
taste like an alcoholic J2O.
I think it's a bit watery.
Yeah. I'm getting that.
The thing is, I find with flavoured pales, they just don't taste like beer anymore.
I think they take on a sour nature,
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the fruit
it-
it's got in it.
but it's not quite as sour. I like a sour beer, but it's not as sour as a proper sour. So it's like in this like limbo. But it
It's
doesn't
definitely-
really.
it's a bit
not really
puckering. It's a little bit puckering, that is.
anything.
So anyone missed the name? It was it Jack Pinter?
Pinata.
Pinata by North Brewing Co. And it's not a bad beer actually.
So what's
It's quite nice. It's
what
quite
are we
refreshing.
saying? What are we saying then?
I'm saying it's a beer, Ollie. That's what I'm saying.
Of
I don't
course,
think it's lost that like beer funk. It's lost that yeastiness. Again, I think it's the fruit, and I find that happens quite a lot in like fruity pale ales.
Well, maybe that's what they're going for. They might be going for that.
Trying to get in a different audience.
The thing is, it's one of those things. Like it's what I'd say. If it was in the pub, I'd recommend it. I think I'd say there's going to be people that like that, but I wouldn't drink it myself.
No, it's made in
So
Leeds
far.
actually. You know.
Is it?
Leeds.
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 And and we didn't mention this. It's 4.5%. So a lovely session. If you like something a bit fruity.
If
Yeah, that's
we were
not
going to
bad.
put it on a numeric scale there between 1 and 10, what you boys saying?
Well, I'll go first. I like cider. I like sweet cider, but I also like beer. And I was explaining the other day to someone. I like it. I like stuff like this because it's that middle bit where you've got that kind of yeastiness and that kind of beer quality. But then the fruit they've added, it's reminiscent of cider in a way, in terms of that sweetness and that kind of that easy drinkiness. And I could easily just drink a pint of this and go, oh.
I think it'd be very nice on the back garden in 20-degree heat.
Yeah, and I think for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
That's a good, strong score, that.
A lovely score.
Jack, you go next.
Ooh, sorry, it's coming back up. The aftertaste is quite nice. I would say I'm going to go a bit lower than you, Charles, because I think it's lost itself in a way. I think it's like halfway sour, it's halfway pale ale. I do quite like it, but I agree with you. It is a bit watery. It gets better the more you drink it, though. I think so. I'm going to go for a 6.
It's not being true to itself, is it? You reckon?
No, yeah, but it is a nice beer, and I like extra points for the fact it's vegan, so everyone can drink it. It's got a nice smell, so 6.
Great stuff.
So right, okay. So for other people, I'd say it's a it's about a 6, but the thing is, because I wouldn't drink it because I don't like beer. I don't like it's that aftertaste. I just dislike. So
like the bite and the bitterness.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. So for me, it's a 3. But
for Ollie though,
I can understand what people like about it.
For Ollie, that's quite not a bad score.
I'm not gonna give it a 1, am I?
First
I mean,
week, no beer can get
I've
worse than
drunk
this.
some proper.
If you gave it 1, that would be slander. That would. I mean, that would be slander.
Every week, I just say it's 1 every week, no matter what we
But
drink.
no, yeah, Pinata, North Brewing Company.
It's not bad.
That's
I
a good. I think that's a
like
nice
that.
beer.
I agree.
The way I'd describe
Is
it
it
is, if somebody gave it me, I'd drink it quite happily, but I wouldn't choose it at a bar.
Would you not?
Right. So for the general public out there, I want a yay or nay. Would you buy it? And would you recommend buying it? Yay or nay?
So if you've tried it, drop it below and see what and let us know what you think.
So yay or nay? Would
I
you
think,
recommend it?
for somebody.
I just
who's
want
not
yay
a
or nay,
massive-
Jack.
Yeah, Jack,
Okay.
is yay or nay?
I just want a yay or nay.
Nay.
I'm
What
going to say yay. I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
say
say if you like, your pale ales and your fruitiness of a pale ale, I'd say yeah. But if you don't like your fruity pale ales, then no.
So you're just gonna go yay and nay, not
Ollie's
yay or
gone.
nay.
Ollie's gone both.
No, because I think it
Look at that.
depends who it is, doesn't it? Like for me,
Well, yeah,
it's not,
obviously.
But, yeah, but like I'd recommend it if you enjoy
Sitting on the
fruity pale
fence,
beer.
Ollie. Sitting on the fence.
Right.
Call you Nick Clegg.
Oh, political.
All right.
Anyway,
That will
well,
cut out. Anyway.
actually, that is very nice. Anyway, I think I will
I'm
happily
quite.
sip this.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, I
I'm
think that's quite good.
liking this.
I'm gonna say one of my because I've got a beer I do like. We have at the pub. It's called Astrid by Thornbridge.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And it's quite.
yes.
That's another vegan beer. It's a theme here, isn't it? I just like vegan beers. I'm trendy. I'm a trendy hipster. And that's again. It's got very big citrus hits in it, and that's hazy. And I could just drink it all day.
Yeah.
I
And
want
that's
to get
4.5%.
a
Yeah,
sour
true.
beer on the show because I love a sour beer.
Yeah, I thought you say on the bar, and I was like, no, it's
No,
not.
no, they won't say.
That would not go down well.
But I want to get Ollie to try one. Have you ever tried a sour beer, Ollie?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I think they're great.
I love
them.
a sour beer.
Not my kind of thing.
I think they're one of them things. I never used to like sour beers. I think they're one of them acquired tastes, and once you've acquired it, you love them. You know what I mean?
No.
That was a weird way of describing that. I feel like it's like, you know, when your mum said you're going to try it 3 times as a kid when you said you didn't like something. I feel like that's what you're going to do with sour beer. You don't like it the
I think
first
it's
time,
like
try it again.
It's like Marmite actually, because I've actually in the past 2 weeks come to like Marmite, and I basically just tried it.
I'll be
times.
honest,
You know what?
I've never tried
that.
Marmite. I've
Same.
never tried it.
You either like it or you
I've
don't.
heard that,
That's-
obviously. But no, I've never tried it.
Honestly, it's a very savoury taste, but it's yeasty as well. So I think
I've heard that.
I drink a lot more beer than you used to, just not in volume, more by just tasting.
Yeah.
And I've just come to like that kind of yeasty kind of quality and stuff. That funk, that
This
ferment.
is it.
Yeah.
This is why I think beers like that I'm not too much of a fan of, because I like the taste of beer. You know what I mean? I like that funkiness. I like that yeastiness. And I think you
Yeah.
can kind of get away with it more in a darker beer. And I think in a lighter beer, it kind of takes away from it a bit more.
Well, I've
But
got
I am open to
some.
the idea.
Chloe's dad's done like he's done a homebrew with beer. He had like a kit and made it. And I always find homebrew stuff's always a little bit more yeasty and stuff. So I'll have to bottle some of that for you guys
That could
and
be interesting.
do the whole social distance drop
That
off.
would be nice.
Get
That'd
Pete's-
be good. I think we should
Pete's
try
Brewing.
That-
Shout out to Pete.
Yeah, we could even do him on the podcast. We could review his
Get
beer.
him, phone him in. Get him in.
Get him on a
get
special
him on the
guest.
podcast. Anyway, so has anyone got? Do you want to move on to a bit of news now? Do you want to have a bit of a gander on what's
Go on.
going on?
I've found a
Here,
few
there, and
bits, of
everywhere.
course.
I've got some local news.
We'll go for local news. Go on, say what's local.
Yeah. So we've had some locals from the pub have every Saturday been doing a music contest from their shed.
Oh.
Really?
And actually, sadly, they've decided to stop as of this week. They've had a 4-week run, I reckon.
Are we
And,
allowed to say who?
Yeah. So they are locals. Big shout out to James Flint. He's been running it, him and his family. And basically, what you do is you send them a song, and it's called Shed Saturdays. And they basically you send in a song, and then they'll rate it, and you get put on a leaderboard. And basically, last weekend they did like a throwback weekend, and he's basically back trying to impress. He's got his family who all obviously like different types of music, and it's just kind of bit of fun, keeping the lockdown
I
entertaining.
like that idea.
And that's
It's a shame they've
it's
stopped
good.
that.
It-
Let's start a
I
petition.
do look.
Get it back.
Let's
Get
stop
it
it.
back.
Definitely. I was literally. I only put a song in last week, but I was looking forward to it every week. I was like, I just want to see what people send in. I want to see the scores. And there's some questionable scores, but then there's also some very rightly deserved scores. So it's just great. And that's my bit of local news.
I'm quite excited to watch that. I hope they bring it back. James, if you're watching,
Yeah,
bring it back.
well, I'll give him a tag in the podcast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can see his
Yeah,
big
do
shout
it.
out.
That's it. Right.
Anyway, what news you got for me, Jack? What you
Well,
gonna tell
actually,
me?
I was just going to copy your news, if I'm honest, the one that you told us before the podcast.
Oh,
We've got a bit of sad news. Apparently, today, just to bring the mood down, the pianist for what's the band called? Go on, you take it. You take it. 'Cause you know
the
more. Than me.
Stranglers. So the keyboard player, the Stranglers, has died today, and I think it's been confirmed as COVID-19 related.
That's really sad.
It is a great band, and obviously that's not. Obviously, it's very sad for his family, his
Of course,
friends.
yeah.
But I went back today and had a bit of a listen to some of the songs, and the keyboard parts are actually immense.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
I
realise
think you
how.
find you hear like someone's died or something stuff like that. You listen to what they've done or whatever. You know what I mean? I think you always that always
Learn to
happens.
appreciate them, don't you?
But
Yeah.
this guy is actually phenomenal.
He's
He's
good.
amazing
Here
keyboard
you
player.
go. I've managed to find it.
so-
Stranglers keyboard player Dave Greenfield has died aged 71 after testing positive for coronavirus.
Yeah,
That's sad.
very
Very
sad.
Just to bring the mood
Any
down.
fans of Stranglers, obviously, it's a very sad day for you guys, and obviously his family and friends. It's very sad.
But yeah,
Good band. though.
R.I.P. Dave. Thanks for all the good songs. And now let's move on to some happier news. Has anyone got any more happy news?
Some happier news. Happy news.
I haven't really got any news, boys. Not lied to you. I'm not
What
really
about
paying attention.
Ollie told us something in the week that was quite interesting about Brewdog, obviously a
Oh,
big
yeah.
beer company, and one of the first and biggest craft brewing companies. Have changed the machines to make hand sanitizer for people.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I
That
think.
is good. I like that.
Yeah, it's clever.
It was quite funny, because they were running out of like the plastic
Yeah,
bottles.
so
to
then
put it in,
put
putting
it
it in,
beer
beer
bottles.
bottles. Yeah,
and capped it.
And it just
That's
shows you.
amazing.
It's
great.
It's nice to see people chipping in and doing the bit. And
yeah,
I
definitely.
think-
Well, it's that old way of thinking of like.
You get it done.
So it's not ideal that it's in a glass bottle.
but you just get on with it.
It's
better
make
than
it's
nothing.
make do amend.
Yeah.
It's that kind of
Definitely.
mentality. And I love that.
Definitely.
It's all pitching together, and they are pitching together and going, what can we do to help this cause?
And it's they've been giving
That's
it
it.
away as well, haven't they, to people who need it and to the NHS and
Yeah, I don't think it's profit. It's
It's
not
not a
a
profit thing.
profit
no,
thing,
no.
no, it's not.
which is great. And I think there's lots of great things going around in terms of that. Like the Sherland Welfare Jack
Yeah.
that we spoke about the other day.
Yeah.
They've been their stock. They've been basically They need to get rid of it, and they've not been asking for money for themselves. They've been asking for a donation.
Yeah.
So you went and grabbed some
So
beer,
yeah,
didn't you?
they've been saying like the bits of beer they've got left. They've been like, come, drop us some containers off. They'd fill us some containers full of beer, drop it out the back. So all social distancing was everything followed. And then they said, rather than paying them for the beer, they just didn't want to see it go to waste. So they were just saying, donate rather than pay us, just donate some money to the NHS. And it's just nice ways of getting a bit of money together. It's getting rid of their stock. It was only going to go down the sink anyway. And it's just a nice bit of fundraising. I think that is,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's stuff like that that's really heartwarming.
It's that old blitz
it
mentality.
shouldn't be a time.
It's everyone pulled together and everyone just let's carry on, get stuff done.
Well, a time like this, it shouldn't be time for people to profiteer off of kind of of like a bad situation. Obviously, I understand some companies need money to keep going, and I understand it all. But it's just one of those. If you can do something nice, it's great. And I think that's like the NHS clap. I think that's just everyone comes together at 8:00 and gives a little bit of clap.
Yeah,
it's just
I think that's
a nice little thing.
Definitely.
I hope you've all been clapping. Have you all been clapping?
I've been clapping. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm building up the courage to get my drum kit out and start
Smashing
whacking it. Yeah, just outside the pub. I'm a bit chicken at the moment. I might come round. I'll come round to it.
I think that'd be good if you do that.
Yeah. And then not really local news, but our local brewery they've still been basically offering a mini keg service.
How is that not local news?
That is local news.
Well, it is local, but it's not. It's not like breaking news.
Oh, no,
but
It's local news.
So if anyone who doesn't know, Ashover Brewery is kind of the local brewery around here, the one that's kind of you'll see it in most pubs around here. And they've been obviously for them they've got a lot of beer that's been made up and it was ready to go out, and it's like the pubs have stopped buying off us. So what they've been doing is put it all into like these mini 8-pint casks, and they've basically been selling it. And they've got a great little a service window, hand sanitizer, no contact, contactless card payments. It's amazing.
Like I say, I've had a
They are good. To be fair, they are good. I agree.
I had at the weekend I bought 3 of them, and they've all gone.
Oh.
I didn't drink them all to myself. I did share them with my other half,
I've been trying to support the local corner shop, and I've discovered the corner shops are amazing. If you've been watching the quiz, then you'll know I've been trying to support the local corner shop because I bring it up every bloody time. But
got to support your locals.
Yeah.
Support your locals.
The only problem is that it doesn't do much like beer. A lot of it's lager, but it's good. It prices it up well, and he does a brilliant. My mum's a big fan of rosé wine, so likes Pinot Blush, and they were doing this lovely like Italian Pinot Blush 3 for $10 on sale.
Woo.
So she's been
Mother Jack's loving it.
Oh yeah, so he's been seeing a lot of us lately. I'm pretty sure he knows my name now. So.
That's
first name.
That's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
probably bad on my terms. It's good for him. Probably thinks it's Christmas.
Talking about shops, though, like you just saying your shop's doing great prices and they're not being stupid about it. But there's a lot of stuff in the news, especially before we locked down and like when people panic buying, like the price of like Blue Roll and like essentials, they're just putting them up for the sake of it.
I think a lot of it's supply and demand, though, isn't it? If there's more demand, then
I can see it in some terms.
I know,
but
it goes back to that kind of thing of like it's a time of need.
Yeah.
It's capitalised. You know, like toilet roll. Yeah, it was £2 for a pack, and then they've gone, let's make it £8 just for the sake of it.
Because people are panicking and buying it all.
But then again, it is. I saw something where it was in like I think it was in Sweden, where they put like buy 1 pack of toilet roll for the normal price, and then it says buy 2. It says 2 for 1, and they said like £100 just to stop people panic buying and buying tons, and it's quite funny, really.
That is quite clever.
Buy 1, buy the second one for double the price.
Yeah.
Buy 3, get 2.
Well, that's the thing is you go around like I was in Tesco's. Other shops are available. Literally, I was still at the checkout, and there's a guy with a trolley, like literally full to the brim of just toilet roll, and it wasn't like a sensible amount. It was as if he's got a massive family or he's giving it to like his relatives. It was literally like piled high, and then the employees came up to him and went, "You can't do it much." And he was like, and basically it turned out he'd been there for like 3 days straight, just buying all the toilet paper. He'd just panic buying it all.
Can I just say,
Some people.
why ain't toilet
How much did you
paper?
go to the
If you're
toilet?
that desperate and you've done a turd, get in the shower. You know what I mean? Use some newspaper. There's other ways about it. You should be panic buying like beans and canned food in case you
food.
starve to death. You know what I mean? Not toilet rolls and you can wipe your arse. There's much
Tin
more
tomatoes.
important things I'd be panic
I know what
buying
you mean.
before
It's a
toilet
bit
roll.
stupid.
I mean, there's other ways around it, isn't there? Come on. What did they do before
Bit
they
of
had
A4
toilet
paper.
roll?
Bit of hate.
Leaves.
It was newspaper, didn't they? You know what I mean?
Back in my
Back in
Bert's like, back in
my
my
day.
day.
Oh, in bank statement.
Oh, I think that's a great place to end on the news.
Yeah. So next topic.
If you run out of toilet paper, use newspaper.
Why didn't you email us in and let us know what you use for toilet paper?
Empty
Emails
beer
at
cans.
CharlieYap01.
Send all your hate mail to Ollie Garlic. No. So we've got the news over and done with. Have you guys got anything interesting to say? Have you noticed anything? Have you got any?
I've noticed I'm getting bored.
You getting bored?
I've been in the garden. We've been building a fence.
Oh.
A fence.
Yeah.
I have noticed it's been a great time to get those jobs done.
Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
never
A
had
lot
time
more
to do.
time. Like the podcast, for
I've,
example.
Yes, perfect.
Ah, a lovely
built-
tie-in.
I've built some lovely speaker stands.
Nope.
Woo! You didn't know Ollie likes to build things. He likes electronics. He likes music.
You ready? Look.
He's
You
gonna
ready?
show
Look,
us.
I'm going to show you. Look. You ready? There they are. Look.
Look
There
at
they are.
that.
Look at them. I think they need a bit of paint on them, mate. I think they need.
No,
a bit
they
of
need
spruce up.
sanding and need paint. But I haven't finished them yet.
That's a good
Fair
effort.
enough.
All.
But no, I'm.
Good effort.
Oh, yeah.
So, look at you. Come a bit of a DIY man.
I think you've
Time
got
off.
to in times like this. Like, dude,
Just
I was
something
looking
to
to
keep
buy them,
interested,
and they're
isn't it?
super expensive and nothing I needed. Like, they're not what I needed. So I've made some.
Just
That's
needs
it.
to keep
So I
entertained.
had so outside the pub garden we have we have benches to sit on.
Obviously.
We have the picnic bed tables, and one of them are broken, just out over time.
To be fair,
Little
those
break.
tables, like, I remember we used to have them, like, ages ago. And because like, they've been outside for so long, they just rot, don't they? So
Yeah.
you've got to keep
But they're not being looked
changing
after.
them.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah,
true.
sustain them.
They've been given a paint, but then one of them just was beyond repair. So I basically made a new bench, like a little, just a seat bench,
Yeah.
and I've now got it on my little balcony bit.
Yes.
So
Wait, have
I'm
you used the gang, like the walkway? Have you used you go over the flat roof over that fence? Use that.
Oh no, that might be health and safety. There's
Oh.
people who don't know. There's a little bit I can stand on, but there's no fence in the way to stop me
Oh.
falling off the building.
Oh.
Might have to fill
Health
in
and
a
safety.
few forms for that one, Ollie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
sorry, I didn't mean to pull that
Yeah,
up.
we'll be
Sorry,
getting in
Charles.
trouble.
And then I'll have to have my accident report book by my side just in case.
The accident report, but
Get ready to
Yeah,
sign
I
it.
stubbed my toe on top of there or something.
I've cut ends of my fingers off and all sorts, and it's not gone in that book.
Ah,
I mean, it has gone in that book.
whew. Yeah,
I'm trying to think the last time I
Definitely
put
got it.
in the book.
it's just a great book.
It's an amazing book.
It's full of
Some
stories.
Some funny memories in there, I tell you.
I got this one in there I think, where someone jumped over the wall at the pub and
Yeah.
then put the foot straight
Through the
through
bench.
another bench.
Yeah.
I couldn't break him, and literally just collapsed the whole thing. And obviously, he said, "Oh yeah, I've hurt my leg a bit." And I was like, "Oh well."
So,
Let's put that in
he
the book.
was
But he was all right about it.
he was more worried about being barred from the pub, I think, bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
I was
mean?
like, as long as your owners were all
That's why I
alright,
was
I
like,
think
you're alright, bro. I mean, don't climb over the wall, but
We're quite lucky with that. We've not had to bar many people, have we? How many done? There's like 3
No.
or 4 people in like the 3 years we've been working have had to bar, if that.
it's not something really aspiring
No,
to
exactly.
do.
I feel like we're quite
do
good at
have-
avoiding that
forced to.
situation.
We have some lovely clientels, anyways.
Yeah. That's
So-
what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say. It was a weird back-ended way of saying there's nice people in our pub.
yeah,
99%
we are very
of the
lucky with our
time.
clientele.
Yeah.
We get no trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all lovely people.
Watch
Very
this.
rare.
First week we
Yeah,
reopen.
so as soon as we open.
I think we're gonna. I think no matter what happens, that first week we reopen is going to be absolutely mental.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it depends. So this is a debate that's kind of been happening in the pub trade at the moment. Is obviously there's no plans set in place yet from the government. I think he's looking at next
Sunday.
sometime this week they're going to let us
Saturday.
know. But
Saturday, is it Sunday? Something like that.
I think Sunday.
So
we're
for anybody wondering, because obviously this is going to go out at a later date, we are currently recording on the 4th of May.
Yeah, it's a
A
Sunday.
Monday.
It's a Monday.
May the 4th be
May the
with you.
4th
May
be
the
with
4th.
you.
So anyway, going back to the topic of the pubs, and like you say, it's going to be busy when we open. there's like a talk of like, well, are they going to put restrictions in place? Are they
Yeah.
going to say you're allowed so many people in the pub? And I saw an article the other day, it was like, every person's allowed 3 pints each. Like we don't know what's gonna happen because we can't really have more than one person behind the bar technically.
No.
It's such a small bar.
Yeah.
We could have me and Chloe behind the bar because we live together and
Yeah.
it makes more sense. But then we need to put in social distancing measures, masks.
It could be
and
quite
personally,
complicated reopening.
yeah, and might come to a point where it's all up to the government when we open it.
I reckon. Right, so this is how I see it's going to happen.
Ollie's
Things
expert opinion.
Like
Here we go.
my expert opinion, which is based on absolutely no expertise whatsoever, is that things like clubs and pubs are going to be the last to open.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah,
And
I think they're seen as a kind of it's a luxury item in a way.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be open for quite a while from now. Which is quite sad.
Yeah, it is sad. But it does give, and obviously I think a lot of pubs are sadly going to go under because of it.
Yeah.
Because some pubs just need to be open in terms of to stay afloat.
Well, I think a lot of businesses in general, like I work in the events industry, and the events industry has obviously taken such a massive hit because everything's been cancelled. Like I'm out of work at the minute because every event has been cancelled. I've got nothing to do anymore, so I'm currently waiting for this to all blow over. Like
Building speaker stands, just
I'm
kind
just
of.
building speaker stands to make up some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. From doing music myself, I'm friends with a lot of like,
course.
people who are engineers, crew on kind of venues and stuff. And I know one guy who just literally didn't know what to do himself. He's like, he's got bits to do. Like he's got like he can clean his equipment. He can get like used to new updates on stuff and all that job. But I think the main thing I've seen people doing is one of my other friends I know. He was running like a live stream, so he was doing all the engineering for a live stream for Peddler Market. If you heard of it in Sheffield, great. It's like an outdoor market where you get food and drink and live music. And he'd normally be the engineer there, but they're now doing it all online, like an online kind of festival. And they still the food vans still actually deliver food to people. They're obviously allowed to do that. And that's any kind of thing I've seen how engineers, like crew and engineers from live events industries are turning their skills.
I mean, to be honest with you, I've used this time to learn a lot of new skills.
Yeah, I've been the same.
So things like pieces of software I've been meaning to get to grips with for ages. I've been saying, right, this gives me the time to sit down and just get my head wrapped around them.
Mine's been in more in like life sense. Like I've been trying to like learn to cook and iron and look after myself.
I'm
that bored.
And you still keep burning your clothes and burning food.
Yeah, I'm burning holes through all my clothes, but I mean, worst diet I've ever been
I
on.
can't cook. I couldn't cook when I started. When we started lockdown, I still can't cook.
I could cook little bits, but I'm a lot more confident now. I feel.
I made a mean gravy last night. A very mean gravy.
Mean gravy.
It was how.
To be fair, there's nothing better than a homemade gravy, like a proper nice one.
You can't beat it, can you? It's like a good beer.
Oh,
You could drink it by the pintful.
gravy is God.
Stuffing tops gravy.
I've been taking the time to actually do stuff that, because I normally work a lot, and I've been taking the time to kind of realize what relaxing is again. And I've been getting pretty good at the PlayStation.
Oi.
Of course.
Other consoles are
Cracked out the
available.
PlayStation 3 and on the Call of Duty zombies.
I've been doing a lot more fitness than I used to do.
Yeah.
A lot more walking. Well, obviously the one a day, but that's more than I probably used to do.
You see, I found I've done less.
Nah, I've been about the same because I've just took the dog. Well, actually, I've probably done less because normally, obviously, I'm training at rugby. I'm out and about, walking around campus at uni, and then at the moment, I'm just taking the dogs out once a day. So, and if it's a nice day, maybe doing a bit in the garden. But
so I'm normally working in the warehouse, so that's sort of my exercise.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting inside all day.
I'm also eating.
Part of that time when you made the speaker stands.
Yeah, I was outside of my garage, essentially walking around in not a very big space, so it didn't take too much energy.
You don't know, those steps might be getting up. check your phone.
Tell me what.
Tell your Apple Watch, other brands are available.
I'll tell you something there. When we started this lockdown, I was like, it's all right because I'm not going to spend much money because I'm in lockdown. There'll be nothing to do. I've spent more money in lockdown than I have when I'm just doing normal.
Because I have to keep buying stuff just to keep me entertained. Because I buy something, I get bored of it.
I have to buy stuff to look forward to getting it.
I'm
That's
more just
like-
like
that's
I
like
use
my week, so I
something,
get
I either get good at it or get bored with it, and then I need something else. I need another project. I need something else to do. So constantly buying bits and bobs to build something or to
Tell me about
or
it.
to play with something or
Bits and bobs.
Yeah.
I think a big topic in terms of what people have been doing in like lockdown is I think Netflix and TV series are a massive thing.
Oh, good segue.
There's
Like that.
so much. A bit of a cheeky one that.
Yeah, cheeky one.
So kind of lots of new series been coming out, and I've got a little review for you guys. if you'd like
Oh,
to hear
I've
it.
been looking forward to this.
Same.
I've been so I've watched. Funnily enough, the big thing that happened at the start of the whole quarantine was the Tiger King. It
what a
literally came
program.
out, and Chloe watched it, and I kind of fell asleep for the whole thing. I was
Yeah.
very tired. I just finished. It was like 2 days after we'd finished, the pub had closed, and I was very tired because I'd gone from working so much to doing nothing. So my body was like, "What's going on?" And then finally, actually, 2 days ago, I actually got around to watching it. Me and my dad hadn't seen it. I said to my dad, "Well, you whack it on, and I whack it on here, and we'll see what we reckon." And then basically, my dad's watched it. He's a fan.
Is he?
And then messaging him I was like, "Yeah, it's not
So,
bad.
so what
It's
do
not
we
bad."
think then?
Well, so I'll set the scene for you if no
Go
one's
on,
seen
go on
it. It's a guy. He's called the Tiger King.
He's not.
Yeah, that's his
Well,
nickname.
that's not his
It's not his real
official
name. Yeah, it wasn't christened
No.
Tiger King. But
Mr. Tiger. Anyway, so he's got about 200 tigers. I think he's maybe got more. This guy is a bit weird. He's got a mullet. He's got a mustache. He's got blonde hair.
Very
He just
American.
doesn't see.
proper.
Very
He's
American.
he's not your average Joe.
Funny that.
Even
Even
though
though
his
it's
name
cool
is-
show.
Even
That's
though his
like
name's Joe.
that's not his official name.
Can I just pause you, Charlie, just to say, a girlfriend goes and she brings you another beer. That's when you know you've got them trained well. Women aren't objects. That was a joke.
Well, we've
Disclaimer.
seen your true colours.
colours shining through.
Yes, so it follows this guy who's the Tiger King. He has many tigers, and as you watch through it, the scandal just gets higher and higher. Like people coming out the woodwork, twists and turns here and there. It is honestly, it's actually at some point you think it's a comedy. You think this can't be real.
I tell you,
A guy turns up with a skeleton, not a real one, a fake one, in his passenger side of his car. And that's just normal at that point. There's no
I tell you something. So I started watching it and I got bored. But the more you watch it, the better it gets.
Yeah. It starts off like an actual
Oh, yeah.
documentary and then just gets more and more mental.
Yeah.
So I don't want to ruin the ending for people that's not seen it.
He's in prison.
People have seen it. Well,
Cheers, Ollie.
ruined it for you.
Spoiler
Ollie
alert.
wanted to. So basically, he's just this guy. He's got a load of tigers, and he's kind of like he's just messing up his life very slowly without realizing it. It's quite good.
It is
I'd
good.
give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I mean, I'd give it
Um,
a 7 probably, but
this is Ollie, mate. This is my review.
sorry, bro. Sorry, carry on.
I'm joking. Anyway, yeah, I give it a 10.
Jack,
Ollie give it a 7.
What would you give,
Ollie give it a
Jack?
7.
I'd give it a good old 9. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like
Jack is impressed
a
easily.
big,
Obviously.
a gay gunslinging American who's polygamous. Is it polygamous when you have more than one husband or wife? Polygamous, isn't it? Polygamous.
I'll have to-
Yeah, there's
I'd have to check that later.
hundreds or maybe even thousands of tigers. There's scandals. There's murders. There's all sorts. It's
I
brilliant.
don't think he has. I don't think he has thousands. I think that'd be a very
he does
extreme
have
amount
a
of
zoo.
tigers.
It's a full-on zoo.
Going back.
But what was great is I watched it and then I was like, I remembered Lou Ferrigno of the
Yes.
BBC. He did a documentary on him before, and I went back and watched it, and he's still a bit weird, but he's a lot more. You can see he's gone. I don't know whether he's just gone. I don't know what's happened, but he just seems a lot more normal.
Well,
I think
in the Lou
I
Ferrigno
think
documentary a few
fame-
years before.
Fame got to him.
Yeah, so I think a guy, I think it was saying early on in the Tiger King's career, he was called the Tiger King by another guy who's making a documentary about him, and they made him a throne and stuff, and then he just took that name and just
Yeah.
like.
ran with it. Took it a bit too serious.
But if you've got Netflix, I'd recommend watching it. It's
Yeah, I'd recommend watching.
highly entertaining, and I literally binge watched the whole thing in one night.
Have any of you another new craze? This is more of like a platform rather than an actual program. But has any of you got Disney
Yeah.
Plus?
Oh yes, I've nicked my sister's account.
I got it. We got it for free through like a contract my mum had with a phone, and genuinely, Netflix should be worried. It's got some good shows on there, some good movies and some good shows.
I watched Incredibles 2 when I first got it.
What a
Can we also-
movie!
Amazing.
Can we also just stay at how shit Apple TV Plus is?
I've never used it.
I didn't even know that was
I
a
didn't
thing,
know
Ollie.
it.
It is awful.
Is that like their
Like-
attempt at Disney Plus? Is that like
Yeah, it's their attempt at Netflix, right? Which would have been great, but they've only got their own. They're only putting up their own shows on there, like their in-house made shows.
I
right?
see.
And they're all just very alright. They're not nothing's amazing. So yeah, I don't know, and I don't know how much they're asking for a month. I got it for free for like a month or so.
Ooh,
But yeah, it's
Not
not.
it's free stuff.
Yeah. Nobody can watch one type of program forever, can they? You know what I mean?
No.
This
It
is
was
why
just-
Disney's so good, because it's not just Disney shows. You've got Natural Geographic, you've got Marvel. you've
Disney
got,
own all
yeah,
sorts of
yeah.
companies,
I
don't they?
suppose that's the difference. But yeah, I was really
Well.
impressed with it.
It's a lot. There's a lot more streaming networks than there were. Like Netflix is for a while was the top dog, and I don't know. There's tons now.
Yeah.
You've got Hulu, you've got Amazon.
Yeah.
There's things coming for that
Amazon
crown.
Prime's
now,
not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they've
think
got
sometimes-
budget.
Yeah,
Yeah, new shows out. They bought that Picard out,
No, I
which is
tell
a
you-
Star Trek spin-off.
I think, to be honest, like you're saying, I think all these new big ones can fight for that top position.
It's only
In
good
some
for
respects,
the,
like Disney Plus are actually competing quite well, and like Amazon Prime are. And I think Netflix have upped the game a little bit in terms of what they've got on, but there's definitely some good streaming networks out there.
That's any competition in any form is always just good for the consumer, because it just
Yeah.
pushes it forward.
Yeah,
What
It's like-
what have any of you been watching Afterlife 2?
No, I've been meaning to actually. I've watched series 1 when it
I've-
first came out, and my mum's watched series 2 now. She says it's brilliant. So
I've not watched any of them. I just Chloe
I've-
watches them, and I just sit in the corner falling
Charlie
asleep.
falls asleep.
I
Yeah.
thought I watched the first series and I thought it was the thing what was good about it, I thought the acting is shit.
Yeah,
But I think
it's
the
questionable.
storyline makes you think, and that's what I think is good about it.
Ricky
It does get you
Gervais
thinking.
It's a proper genius. Like, I always like how Ricky Gervais
He's a
jokes.
shit actor.
Oh yeah, he's a crap actor, but I like how he
Other
jokes about
swear words are
that shouldn't
available,
be
guys.
joked
By the way,
about, and yet he isn't offensive. What do you say? So
I find with I just said other swear words are available. Ollie likes to use some fruity language. I like Ricky Gervais, and I think his comedy is great. I just get a bit tired of it. I think he's very very dry, and he gets too much sometimes.
I quite
I
like
asked
that.
I do quite.
I like that.
Oh, it's good. I just get to a point where I'm like, I want to watch something where it's just a bit more. I can think
bit
less about the
light-hearted.
jokes.
Yeah.
But he's great.
Yeah.
There you
He's
go.
lovely.
I've got another movie for you. Yesterday, I've watched it before, but my little sister Jodie had never watched it, so I forced her to watch it. Basically, The Full Monty. What a program!
Oh,
What
filmed
a
in
movie!
Sheffield. What a classic.
Filmed in
I've never watched
Sheffield,
it.
made in Sheffield. You've never watched it, right? I'll do you a quick lowdown because this segment's getting quite long. But I'll do you a quick lowdown. Basically, it's like after Thatcher shut down all the steelworks and everything, and basically Sheffield's gone from like this really thriving city to like just full of poverty, and it's about these two best mates. One of them's got a young lad, and he's got no job, no money, and he's really struggling. He can't find work anywhere. He makes some other mates, and they find out that these like Chippendale blokes have been stripping, and they make like thousands of pounds. So they decided they're going to do a strip show, and they're just like normal folk. They used to work in steel works, and then they're like no one's like questioning them. It's like, oh, why would we go when we could just go and see Chippendales who are like these big like muscly blokes? It's like, because we're going to do Full Monty, we're going to go all the way, we're going to get bollock naked, and it's so funny, and you need to watch it, Ollie. Anybody watching it, everyone needs to watch it. It's about blokes getting naked, but it's amazing. 10 out of 10.
I can tell you're a rugby lad.
I would also I'd give it 10 out of 10.
Brilliant
You
movie.
can't beat a bit of Full Monty. It is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's proper Saturday night watching.
Oh,
What TV
light-hearted,
few
funny as hell.
nibbles. A few cans of beer from your local supermarket.
Or
and
corner
you're off,
shop,
You're off.
if you want to support your local.
Yeah. 2 hours that you will
Not regret.
Very be happy about. Yeah, that is the word. Not regret. It's great. If you guys got any films you want us to watch as well that we think we should review,
again,
Go on.
drop them in the
Send us
comments.
some recommendations. Why
send
not?
them in to. If you just search a Tupton Tap and just send us a message on Lego.
Into...
Facebook.
But yeah. Any other topics, boys? Anything
Any
else
topics?
to talk about before we leave it this week?
I think I'm
Oh,
on topic
I forgot to tell you.
Oh.
So
Go.
you're lagging out a bit on our
you are lagging out a
old
tiny bit.
video.
Well, it's like I'm still recording.
That's all right.
Oh, good.
But yeah,
On,
I've got a quick story time. I've just remembered. I did
Go
a
for
dice with death. I nearly died the other day.
oh, great.
Woo!
Go on.
So anyone who knows, I have a loft room above my bedroom. And it's not just mine, but it's got like the PS3 in there, and it's got like a desk. And I'm currently living at my girlfriend's house because of coronavirus. But I was in the loft. This is obviously before I came here, and I normally do like the quiz and stuff like that up there, and all my laptops set up there. And I was up there. I was on FaceTime to some of my rugby mates, and I had a few beers. And I was coming down out the loft, down the step ladder, and I got to the second step from the top, and I was coming down the slide, and my slider fell off, and I fell a full flight, and I smashed into the floor, missed my head off my bookshelf by like that much, landed on a picture frame which smashed underneath me. So yeah, I had a near-death experience.
And did you fill out the
That's
accident
amazing.
report book?
It was quite painful.
Jack? Did you fill out the accident report book?
I did. I went downstairs. I said to Mum, one, can I have some codeine? And I codeined up because it come quite keen. And two, can I fill out the accident report book, please? And that's how it went.
I want to spare no detail, please.
But yeah. So
Are you alright now?
Yeah.
yeah.
For people that
actually
don't know,
but yeah.
people that don't know, pubs have to, just any hospitality trade has to have an accident report book, just in case
That's
anyone
what we're
does it
joking
as a
about.
boo-boo.
That's what we're joking about.
That's the joke.
Anyone
It's
cuts
not
themselves
so
on
can't
a
you
bottle
why.
So you can't get
glass,
sued.
and you have to fill out a 14-page report on how you did it and why you're gonna die.
And
So-
exactly what point on the hand it hit.
Yeah, and Jack, if anyone's come to the pub and knows Jack, he smashes about 2 glasses a night, and
Yeah.
at least one of them will go into his hand. So
Choke
the amount
on
of pages
dog
were filled out
biscuits.
for Jack.
I mean, the amount of
half
scars.
that
Look at the
book's
state of my
half that
hands.
book's Jack.
Like scars, and I mean, I've got a few blisters because like I've been working in the garden, but scars and stuff all over my fingers where I've dropped glasses or smashed glasses. Or I used to do a party trick where I ate glass, and that used to give Charlie heart attacks. That was part of,
No,
part of
because
my
you do
magic
it.
show.
Because you wasn't on shift when you did that.
Yeah, part of my magic
That's
show.
mean.
I used to eat glass.
Jesus.
Like, if I broke a wine glass.
I don't want to fill out that accident report book when you do
Yeah,
that.
so Charlie used to be.
So
No,
having
you
because
don't-
that's why he's off
Yeah.
shift.
You don't do it near me.
That was one of the deals.
on
Where,
shift.
because I basically do anything for $5. So I've eaten dog biscuits, I've eaten limes, licked the floor,
And the
all sorts.
and the funny
I ate
thing
a
is-
candle.
no. The funny
Yeah.
thing is, but no one actually gives you a $5 for it either.
No.
It depends
I'll
how
give
drunk
you a
Rob
$5
is.
to do
We have a
that.
local called Rob, and he's a bit when he gets pissed, he gets his wallet gets a bit open, and he always dares me to do stuff.
Oh, dude.
Like eating dog
like,
biscuits
yeah.
or eating a full
to be
wine.
fair, I have a video on my phone of a lit candle on the table, and my brother goes to, I can put it out with your tongue. I'll give you a tenner, and you fully did it, and there was wax all on your mouth where it went over.
You can do it though. You can lick your fingers and just put it on a candle. It's
Yeah,
like
but
I
you
just do it with my tongue, though.
He did it with his
Come
tongue.
on.
No, you did it once, it didn't work. You did it again, it didn't work. It sizzled.
Yeah.
And he did it
Yeah.
again. Oh,
I mean, I've done
cooking
much
your tongue
worse.
on
I
a
mean,
candle.
Us rugby lads are notorious for doing stuff, especially on tour. I've done much worse than eating limes and lit candles. So
And normally, a normal person will be like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." And then Bert's like, "No, I'll do it."
how much?
Yeah,
How
I'll
much
do it.
money's on the table, and two, I'd do it anyway. So
the funniest thing I've seen you do, Charlie, is that shot of Bailey's and that shot of light. with Brian Courtney.
cement mixer.
So Bert is the king of horrible cocktails. He makes lovely cocktails.
Yeah,
However,
I can
he
also
knows
make
some
very
bad
nasty
ones.
cocktails.
And literally, It was lime cordial and
Yeah, so-
Baileys. And he went, "Oh, Charlie, you didn't actually really explain to me what happened." He was like, "Oh, Charlie, put it in your mouth and then just swirl it round." I was like, "Okay." And then it congeals and it gets stuck in your teeth.
It crystallised.
So
Like,
you literally you do a shot of lime, which is nasty anyway. I mean, if anyone's drank lime cordial, it's not very nice. And then you put a shot of Bailey's in
pure
it, and
lime
you have to
cordial.
like chew it round your mouth. And that's why it's called the cement mix, because it starts going hard and congealing, and it's horrible.
And then after that, we actually laid a few bricks, didn't we? Used
Spat it out.
I say you didn't swallow it. You spat it.
Yeah, it's not
No,
nice.
not.
No, because
not-
I was actually scared that I'd be sick if I swallowed.
Another
it.
favourite of mine is the Dirty Irish.
Great
I've told you about this one before. This is a rugby one. Dirty Irish. Pint of Guinness, a double shot of Baileys, and a double shot of Jameson's. That's a nice one.
By the way, if I can be bothered, I'll edit in into this the video of Charlie
Doing the cement mixer.
with
Go for
that
it.
shot. Yeah.
That was good.
Go for it. Actually, another story I've got is, remember that time we had that so we off shift we had a
Off shift.
cocktail mate a
Yeah,
cocktail
Oh
making
yes,
class.
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all there going like, "Oh yeah, we'll be all right. We won't get drunk. We're just gonna learn how to make some
Yeah,
cocktails."
we have a few cocktails.
It was one of our local. Shout out to Andy Clark.
Andy, hello.
Um,
Andy
he
used to
ran
run
the cocktail
bars, we
session.
should say. He's not just a random who would pull off the street like, "Do you know teach you how to make cocktails?" Yeah.
He's like, "Well, I don't know."
Yeah,
anybody."
go on.
Yeah. So he basically taught us a load of cocktails, and one of the cocktails had about 4 shots of alcohol.
The
in it.
Hemingway
Is it?
daiquiri.
That was it, the Hemingway daiquiri.
Lovely.
And I was absolutely spangled by the end of that night.
I was happy.
Mate, same.
And I think Bert was like, "I think you need to go home because you had to be so the next day." And you're like, "I don't want to go home."
My girlfriend was like, "Come on, Jack, you need to be up in the morning. We've got all this stuff to do."
That's
And
it.
I'm like, "No.
So
Jack gets a little bit stubborn when he's
so
at a gym.
ever goes to me, he goes, "Ollie, help me get him home." I'm like, "All right, go on, Bert, go home."
This is also about like 5 Hemingway daiquiris.
And
Just kept making the
Well,
same
this is
cocktail.
it. We went
like,
through them all,
every
didn't
now
we?
and-
We went through all the cocktails, and then we were just like, right, we'll just make more cocktails now. We just kept making more cocktails.
Yeah,
my favourite is the amaretto sour.
Oh, I do love it. I love a
Love
sour
that.
full stop.
cocktail.
I do love a sour.
Yeah.
My favourite cocktail
Um,
of all time is the Bramble by Dick Bradbury.
Yeah.
Brilliant cocktail.
Ooh, Bramble. I think, yeah, that night was funny as well because you and Ollie got given the job of squeezing all the lemons and limes.
Well, we didn't have a
You were there
squeezer,
for about-
did we?
No, so you're there for like
Just
half an
cutting
hour
up
just
and
squeezing.
hand squeezing all these limes and lemons.
Oh.
My hands, like I've got like the odd like cuts on my hands that just normally because when you work in a pub you end up doing that.
It's a class.
And
Yeah,
honestly, getting lime juice and that in it, unbelievably painful.
horrible. Actually, the worst experience I've had with, and it was both at the same time cutting myself and with a lime. So it was New Year's Eve and it was ramming. It was
Were
absolutely
we? Bloody hell.
ridiculous.
I was hammered as well.
And
Shock. Off shift.
no,
yeah,
not even
um,
not even off shift.
uh,
I'm not even gonna lie.
We'll mute that bit out. It was off shift.
Off shift. No, I'm joking.
anyway, so I was my band would booked us to play, and I assumed that would be
Charlie
we-
booked
we'll
his
be-
own band to play.
yeah. And I was like, well, I'm playing drums, and I need to go. But I was like, I've got one more drink, so like a gin and tonic or something. And I was like, I was just cutting the lime, and I'd say I not took my fingers in close enough, and I literally took the tip off my end of my finger. Obviously, I didn't use the lemon. I didn't finish the drink. I had to go and cover my finger, and I had to go and play drums for an hour.
with a
Yeah.
massive
And-
cut on your finger.
And also, so I've got lime juice in it, and it's a cut, and it was just stinging, and I was trying to play drums. It was just
Not ideal.
That night was mad because
It was.
like, it was so busy. My girlfriend was there to see me, but she couldn't see me because I was working. So she kept coming to the bar. I kept buying her drinks and that. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, if not maybe 2 or whatever, we were walking home. I realised how smashed she was. I was like, Jesus,
She'd been with
drinks.
my mum and dad,
Yeah.
who kept buying her drinks. My girlfriend, who was encouraging her to drink. Basically my second mum, who's my best mate's mum, Emma, who's borderline alky herself, but so she when she's on a sesh, she's on a sesh.
My
Yeah.
mum's sisters, cousins,
Everybody,
brothers,
the whole
daughters,
family
dog.
was there. And Georgina just got chucked into the deep end, bless her, with all them, and that. Bless her.
I was walking home.
all I can say.
I walked home like the next day. I think we drove to Tesco or something or I was driving home or something. And I was like, "Oh, do you remember walking out here last night on the way home from the pub?" Because no. Like, really? He goes, yeah, I don't. Do we walk home? Like, yes. Like,
Sign of
anything
a
like-
bad night out.
Oh, man.
Right, I've got one more question for you before we. I assume we're getting ready because it's been.
I think we're running out of
Right,
time.
one
aren't
more
we?
question for you. Running off of that, what is the worst hangover you've ever had?
Ooh, a lovely ender, Jack.
And this goes for all you watching as well. What's the worst hangover? you've
Mine
ever had?
was New Year's Day. Not this year, but the year before. So I worked New Year, and then I got off early, and I was late for a party, and I think it was 11:30. I got there, and I was like, well, I need to catch up with my mates because they're all having like, not that you need alcohol to have a good time, but obviously when
certainly
you're
helps.
like,
Hence why pubs are
yeah,
good.
oh no, this was 2 years ago. Sorry, so I was a bit younger.
I remember this.
I was about 18, 19. And I was like, oh, I need to have a drink. So I basically had some homemade gin that had obviously, the proof had gone up and I not realised. I had about 4 gin and tonics in a row and I was smashed. But then obviously, New Year came in, kept drinking. I don't know how I got home. Again, end of a bad night. And then I woke up the next day and I had to open up the pub.
Yeah.
So I was sober, but I was absolutely
I've had that.
Steaming at your arse.
horrible. Like, no, it was just hangover.
Yeah.
That's what
And I had we had no food in the house either, so I don't know. I was like, normally between Christmas and New Year you have tons of food, but we didn't. I
Yeah.
think my parents had gone away to New Year, and then I was just in the house, and the only thing we had was a frozen curry. So for my breakfast, I had a
Oh.
curry, and then I went and opened up the pub, and I was in. I smelt of curry, and I had the worst hangover. And to be honest, by the time I got to my shift, I felt fine. I was like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm off. I'm on top of the world. But it was obviously, it was one of those shifts that got quite busy because people come for a drink after.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
After.
Nice to come for a bit.
I'm trying to think what mine is. I've had a few like bad
A few
ones, but not
stinkers.
that bad. The one that comes to my mind is went to a house party with my mates. And I think eventually, we were drinking. And eventually, I think we went to another person's house, and then obviously I slept at my mate's house. Woke up in the middle of, I didn't know where I was. Got out, phoned a taxi, said I can see this pub, this shop, and this shop. Do you know where I am? I said I think I know where you are. And he came and got me, took me home,
Oh.
my
and I got home, got in the bath, and oh my god, I was hanging out of my
Bottom.
bottom. Awful. And I was sick like multiple times.
See, I've never been sick.
No,
I
I
refuse to be sick.
I'm never sick while drunk, but I'm
Yeah,
always
I'm
sick.
Never sick on the
after.
night, but in the morning, if it's been a really heavy night, I can be. It's rare, but I
Yeah.
can be.
I remember that time bit you were sick and you tried to hoover it up.
Oh, that was.
I told
bad.
someone that story. I told someone that story today. Actually,
I love that.
I don't know why it's my
Right,
story.
I'll tell you.
now,
I've had some stinkers. I'll tell that story, and I've had some stinking hangovers. Like 2 honourable mentions. There's the night after my initiation when I drank a bottle of port and then half a crate of Stella on a bus back from my first ever away game.
we do not endorse binge
Neither
drinking.
do
Just
I.
to let
For
everyone
that
know.
bloody hell.
I'll
That was
I'll
bad.
pop up the drinkware website here.
Yeah.
Other honourable mention is what was it? Anyway, I'll think of it. But the worst ever hangover I have ever had was I was on a cruise over New
Yeah.
Year's. This was again 2 years, not this New Year's, the year before. And
So that you know that cruise you went on. That's the reason why I had to work New Year and New Year's Day. That was
it is
your
my fault.
yeah.
I remember.
You went on a
Yeah,
cruise,
I was. And
and I had to eat
we
a
hit a
curry.
storm on New Year's Eve, and obviously that didn't stop us. So I absolutely hammered. Went to sleep at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up at about 12 o'clock, and we'd hit this storm, and the boat was proper rocking. I should say it wasn't like a cruise around the Mediterranean where it's nice and flat.
Was it rocking in a metaphorical or
Quite,
literal?
but both. This was the problem. We went past we went to Hamburg and Bruges, so it was on over what's that sea? Is it the Pacific? Anyway, a really rough part of the sea in a storm.
Jack? Can you please be specific?
So the boat was
Hey.
rocking, my head was rocking, I'm spinning out. So I just couldn't get away from it, and I was throwing up all day. That was awful. One of the worst. That is the worst hangover I've ever had. But yeah, the other story. What was the other story?
On a boat.
What were we on about?
The one you're hoovering
Oh,
up.
yeah. So Charlie had given me. Alright, I was in the pub, in the tap, and Charlie was giving me these beers. These were called Einstein. And they were on the way out, weren't they? But they were in date. So, and they were clearing and everything. But they smelt funny. I had about 2 of them before I stopped drinking them. And I'm just saying this because that's what I'm blaming it on. It wasn't because I had a copious amount of alcohol.
See, we don't sell this alcohol to customers.
Yeah, this is why I was drinking. Because Charlie was like, "It's in date, but I'll drink." I was like, I'll drink it. And I had 2, and I was like, I don't think that's right. And then we stopped drinking it. But still. And then I got home.
And this beer did come off very quickly.
No, it was already off when I was drinking it. So I should have learned. I should have realised something was up, shouldn't I? Really. But anyway, then I got home, and I was a bit drunk. Well, I think it was like after one of the Six Nations or something. I've been there a while, and I fell asleep on the settee after I went to take my shoes off, sat down, and just fell asleep on the settee downstairs. Woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Went to go to the toilet. Didn't make it. Just threw up all over the floor. So then I thought, in my still drunk, slightly hungover mind, the best way to clean it up would be to hoover it.
So, but I've heard that story differently.
Go on then, what's your thought?
I've heard you weren't drunk at all, and that you just decided to hoover it up.
I mean, I was still pretty hungover. I mean, there was conscious thought behind it. I did think, how am I going to clean this up?
How is there any conscious thought behind that?
And the problem is, Bert, your dad also drank that beer, and he wasn't sick. I just think you can't handle your alcohol.
All right then, Leslie.
I think that.
I think you're bad mouthing me here.
No.
You
were the good guy in this situation. You took the beer off.
Charlie gave me bad beer.
You were like, Jack,
Charlie
don't drink this beer. This beer's bad. And I was like, I'll drink it. And I drank it, and it went badly.
Nah. I just think you can't handle your alcohol. I think that's
it was nothing to do with the
I think that's a story from today's podcast.
Nothing.
Right, anyway, I think on that note, on Jack's lovely sick story, we should end it there. So I've been Charlie, we've got Ollie here, and we've got Jack.
Pleasure.
I've
enjoyed it.
It has been a pleasure. This has been the Pubcast, and we'll probably see you next week.
Hopefully.
We'll have some better banter, hopefully, and we'll have a new beer, some more news, and maybe even another film review.
Beautiful.
Who knows?
Maybe,
anyway,
if you're lucky.
So say your goodbyes, lads. We're off.
Cheers, guys. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
In a bit. Cheers, guys. Bye.